One day, a Zen master was walking with his student through a peaceful forest. The master asked, "What do you desire most in life?" The student replied, "Success and happiness." The master pointed toward the trees and said, "What is simple is the most powerful." The student thought the master was speaking of some deep meaning, yet didn't fully understand his words. The master picked up a small leaf and showed it to the student. "Look," he said, "this leaf is so simple, yet it is the essence of the whole tree. Just as this leaf knows its place, we too must understand our place in life." The student gazed at the leaf carefully but still struggled to grasp the master's point. As they walked, the master suddenly stopped and said, "The constant desire for more leads us astray. True peace comes when we reduce our wants." The student pondered whether the master was trying to teach him that a simple life is the right path. That night, they stayed in a small hut. The master lifted a simple cup of tea and said, "This tea is not expensive, but the peace it brings is priceless." The student felt the simplicity of the tea and began to understand the master's words. The next day, the master focused on a small stone and said, "Learn to accept whatever you have. The fewer desires we have, the easier and more beautiful life becomes." The student realized the master was teaching him the value of living a simple life. The student asked, "Does living a simple life mean we should not strive for anything?" The master smiled and said, "A simple life doesn't mean doing nothing, it means doing things with mindfulness and clarity." The master said, "The practice of simplicity is not only external, but internal as well. We must keep our minds clean and calm." The student understood that the master was talking not just about an external life but also about inner peace. They arrived at a river. The master said, "Look, this river flows effortlessly. We should let life flow like this, without pressure or strain." The student watched the flow of the river and realized that life could also be simple and peaceful. The master told the student, "The more possessions we gather, the more we become entangled. Simplicity is freedom." The student thought that the master was right, a simple life leads to true freedom. The student asked, "How will I know if I have embraced a simple life?" The master replied, "When you feel peace and contentment within your mind, you will find your answer." The master shared one last thought: simplicity doesn't mean making life small, it means focusing on the things that truly matter. The student found deep meaning in the master's words. The student began to understand the master's teachings. He realized that the real joy of life lies in simplicity. The more simply we live, the more we experience true happiness. The master told the student, "Just like the wind doesn't stop in one place, we too should not remain bound in life. Let go, and flow." The student realized that simplicity means living without attachments. After spending time with the master, the student began to reduce his desires and needs. He found that the more he simplified his life, the more peaceful his mind became. Finally, the master said, "The path of simplicity may be difficult, but it is the most right path. Those who follow this way find true happiness." The student made a firm decision to embrace this path.